Kathy, I know you've long been interested in the difference between attachment theory and Bowen theory, but what stimulated your ongoing interest? It has stuck with you.
So it got started around several really important junctures that Dr. Bowen chose one way over another. And the first one that grabbed me was that I wanted to understand was this distinction between him developing a natural systems theory versus using general systems and or cybernetics. And then the next one that grabbed me was attachment theory. How come he wasn't infected by attachment theory? And I wanted to sort of retrace his steps, what he would have been exposed to in the 50s and 60s, and see what the similarities and the differences were, and how he came to choose um, the path that he did, and to understand it for myself, not just because he chose it. And then the last influence would be all the work I've done in primatology, and the way that primatology is just infected with attachment theory. And that goes all the way back to Robert Hind and Cambridge University and all the people he trained in primatology. And he was a collaborator with Bowlby. And then, Harlow's in there too. And they all infected people with attachment theory in primatology. And having to sort that out as I developed relationships with primatologists and be able to articulate how I saw it differently was another part of the challenge.
When you say people have been infected, you're talking about limiting the ability of people to think beyond a belief system.
Yeah.
And so that, I assume, is the challenge, talking about the comparison, because there are similarities, but there are really important differences that aren't naturally visible unless one starts thinking about.
I like your use of the words naturally visible. A few days ago, I remembered a slide that I had made for a presentation on a different topic, but that had a really cool visual in it. And I was looking for it this morning to incorporate into my slides for the spring conference. And basically it's a picture of a river, a big wide river, and floating on the top of it, I put different things in the original. And this one I put concepts from attachment theory, like maternal deprivation, neglect, trauma. And what I was trying to get at is these are kind of sparkly and they're floating on the top of this deep river, and they catch your eye and they're there. But underneath it is this river of undifferentiation that is spawning these sparkly things that float up to the surface, and how to keep your eye on the river, which Bowen did. And then he has a great quote where he talks about these things as derivatives rather than primary drivers of emotional process.